All right, guys, I got a new tool in, or a tool pack. This is a 5 screwdriver pack from Bergeon. This is the 30080-P05, and that P05 is indicating that you're going to get 5 different sizes here. You have the 0.5, the 0.6, the 0.8, the 1.0, and the 1.2. So what I'm finding recently with some of the micro brand watches that I'm getting in are the links are shorter. So the hardware, the screws are actually smaller. I was getting by with this inexpensive, I think I even got this at Harbor Freight, the 1.4. And actually the tip has been holding up and everything. It works overall pretty good. But if you look, it will not, it's too wide. So yeah, I mean, I could have ground it down and made it fit. I mean, in the past, I've even used these really cheap, like Amazon or eBay ones, and these are just junk. So I've gotten to the point where it's time to stop wasting money on inferior tools, and it's really not that much more once you factor in some of your frustrations and possible scratching of items and everything like that. It's better to just buy some good entry level watch tools. So I did buy these off eBay. I think I paid $56.50. But you go over to Esslinger and you're gonna basically pay $60 for the same kit. So, and this is my first time checking them out. So, but you can tell they're just, I mean, even before I got them, I have a bunch of the other Bergeon tools, and they're just of such high quality that I knew I wasn't going to be disappointed. So they're gonna work great, I'm sure. So I mean, once you find the right size you need, even this one's going to be too wide. So you want to fill that head of the screw the best you can, but without going too wide, obviously. So you're digging into the to the links. So once you find the widest blade head you can, and in this case, it looks like it's going to be the 1.0. So, and you can tell it fits really good in there. So, what I'm going to do on this one, I kind of already predetermined that I'm just going to take out a couple links out of each side and see how it fits. I do have the 4 micro adjust, so it should be pretty good. It's going to be difficult for me to. Now you can pop it. You can pop the bracelet off, or you can leave it on, or just. Everybody's got their own preference on doing this. I tend to try to do it the easiest way possible. Well, sometimes it ends up not really being the easiest way possible, but I try to be lazy about it. I want to do less fiddling as possible, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pop that guy out. Yeah, these screwdrivers are nice. They're easy to handle. They're easy to grip. Now, if I make a little mistake here or something like that, that's partly because I'm trying to work around this camera and everything. So normally I would have my face much closer to it, and I would. Now you could put the little purple Loctite on there and stuff like that, but I personally have never really had an issue with most of my watches regarding the screws backing out or anything. So what I like to do is I like to backspin until I don't know if you heard that, probably not, but you'll feel it thump drop into its spot, and then you slowly turn it in. You do not want to cross thread these. You're talking about very fine machined parts, and I don't think it's grabbing, so you might have to fiddle around, backspin it until you find the sweet spot. The other issue, hold on, that's a work call. Alrighty, dealt with that issue. So what had happened there is it was pivoting like that, so I could try to thread it in indefinitely, and it would never go in. So just got to pay attention to what you're doing, and I wasn't. So are these labeled? Okay, they are labeled down there on the head, so 1.0. And then they're color coded too, but I don't know All right, so I got to make sure it's not pivoting, okay? And then I'm going to backspin it again. I can't really see what I'm doing here. Now, these are all really nice fitting parts, so you should not have to force this. It's not like, you know, screwing together two 2x4s here. We're talking about small, fine parts. So that one's good, that one's tight. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to pull out a couple links. And I know you guys are having a ball watching me do this. I know most people prefer screw links, and in this case, well, especially now that I have new tools to play with it, and what I'm doing here is I'm just capturing it so the screwdriver doesn't walk off the head of the screw. So these are some hobby tweezers that my wife used to have. She doesn't have them anymore because I stole them, because they work great for doing stuff like this. So I'm assuming she doesn't mind because I still have them, so she hasn't found them. She hasn't taken them back from me. So anyway, I actually kind of prefer, I know it's not the strongest method, but I kind of prefer split pins, man. I can size a split pin bracelet crazy fast. Like as soon as you start adding screws or double-ended, you know, sided screws and pin and collars and stuff like that, I'm all for the challenge, but I think, yeah, that's going in. There we go. Sorry I can't get you guys a really good close-up, but they just fit so much nicer. It works so much better. So I just took two out of each side. It's a little loose, so I could draw those in. It's not really worth pulling out another link. I think I can just pull those micros in, and I think that guy will fit really good. So I gotta say, I am not disappointed at all upgrading from these things, which are just, don't even waste your time and money. It's not worth it. Spend a little extra money, and you'll have a better experience sizing your bracelets, and you'll be way less likely to damage things. So totally worth the money, guys. And I think the 5-piece kit, you could probably, I mean, these really small ones, these are going to be good for when I start working on the movement of the watch. So I think that's a good purchase in my point of view. But you can buy these individually, and I think they're like $11 each. So really, you could probably buy the 0.80, the 1.0, the 1.2, and you'd probably be set, and you'll spend just over $30. So if you're just sizing bracelets, you could probably maybe even just buy a couple of them, the 1.0, the 1.2, and you'd probably be good. I doubt you're going to run into a bunch of 0.8s, but sometimes you got, you know, double-ended screws, so maybe you want a backup screwdriver or whatever. I bought the 5-piece kit because I knew I was going to be using these really small ones as soon as I start monkeying around with the little gears and movements and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you very soon on the next vid.